All right, good day, everyone. Let's continue our series. We've talked about the elements of graphic design. We're continuing with our class today. Today, we're talking about one of the most important and vital principle of graphic design. One of the most important and vital principle of graphic design, which is alignment. So, like I said alignment is a principle of graphic design that simply refers to the placement of graphic design elements in a way that they appear in a lineup composition. So the order of aligning or the order of placement of your elements in graphic design is simply refers to as alignment. All right, it is the order to which you arrange your materials or your elements in graphic design. And I said that we make use of alignments for the following reasons: 1, to organize elements; 2, to group elements; 3, to create balance; 4, to create structure, as well as creating connection between elements. And I'm going to illustrate this with this very short video. And also bear in mind that there are two principles of alignment, or there are two types of alignment. We have the edge alignment and the center alignment. The edge alignment could either be to the left, to the right, up or down. I'm going to explain them with this perfect video that I'm doing right now. So let's quickly jump into our Pixel Lab application. Let's jump in. Okay, I was doing a design, so let me just quickly save it as a project. All right, let's go through this. Close. All right, so I have my highlighter indicated on this particular screen, and subsequently you get to meet the various tools. Once I touch something, it is highlighted, so you know the tools that I'm touching. I just want you to follow me closely, step by step. It's not a very difficult lesson that I'm putting out right now. It's something that is very straightforward. So remember, I told you guys, if you want to create a background, there are so many ways, but for the sake of this video, I'll be creating a gradient background. A gradient, which is a composition of two colors. Okay, this is the A button highlighted, the benzene ring, and the overlap of two square. So I told you before that if you want to do anything relating to your background, you go to your overlap of two squares. That's this particular one highlighted. You click color, then you move to gradients. You add your plus button. At the top end of the screen, you have about 1 2 3 4 5 6 balls selected, which are an indication of the type of gradient you want to use. So let me make use of the second type of gradient, which is up and down ratio. I click on this end. Let me use something like this. Click on this other end. Cancel. Cancel. Move to the side. Okay, I've successfully created a background. Then press your nice sign. There's it. Now I said something further, that whenever you are doing your design, you should always put on your grid lines. This is where our subject matter comes in. Remember, I told you that you must always own your grid line. And in the course of our lesson yesterday, I mentioned something that grid lines, they help us to perfect our alignment. This is what I meant, and I'm going to explain it. Once you put on your grid lines, you can actually adjust them. Now, I will add the grid line here, adjust to this side, add another grid line. Now, when I'm adding this grid line, you discover that I'm trying to create a walkout area or dimension for myself, such that I'm not going to pass those places. That's what you should always do in your design. All your design should come outside in a coordinate order, so that your materials or your elements will not be arranged haphazardly. So that's that. I already have a clear-cut pattern in which I would be designing. Okay, if you get your screen highlighted, you see that where I'm touching, those places that are highlighted on the screen with the cycle indicator or highlighter, those places are the places that I will not pass. You see these places, I'm not going to pass them. Nothing will make me to pass these two parts of the design. So it means that I've created a balance on this particular design. Now let me import an element, follow my button. Let me import an element. Okay. Sorry for the delay. I'm looking for something. Where did I have this again? Okay, I have a lot of elements here. Okay. What can I use right now? Okay, let's just say I'm picking this picture, the picture of this lady. I'll press the nice sign. So the moment I select it, I'm going to adjust. Okay, I can zoom in. I'm going to adjust, drag this down, click. Okay, you see I've placed the element. Now I'm going to place this element in a way that the head of this lady is not passing this line. It's not passing this line here. You get? The head of the lady is not passing this line here. That's what I'm trying to do. Then I can draw another grid and draw it over the head of the lady here. So I have a clear cut pattern. Let me just write something like smile. Okay, move to fonts. I have an array of fonts, so you just change your font selection. I don't like that. Let's make use of a sans font. Okay, let's just make use of this. Alright, so I'll increase the size of the smile, put it here. So let me change the color of the text, move to color under the text layer. Then I'll click here. I want to use kind of click here, move here. Alright, so I'm using something like this. Press your nice sign, so it's coming out. Smile. Jesus loves you. Okay, let me change the font so I can drag on this side. So you discover that I'm placing these elements not more than this line, in a way that is no more than that line. Hope you can see. That's that. So you can see that I'm placing the element in a way that is no more than that line. So I can decide to add beauty to this design by just using shape. I taught you how to make use of shape. You can add shape to this design. Shape. Okay. Then let me just import this, reduce the size, add some radius, give it a fill color. Then let me reduce the opacity. I'm just trying to create some aestheticity with this design. Add some opacity. I've created something, an aestheticity. Okay, so I may try to write many fonts. Let me just write something. Jesus loves you. That is why he left is thrown to die for your sin, and by his death mankind is free. So let me just type this, go over to this layer, reduce the size, change the font and reduce the size, put on my grid lines. When I reduce the size, I try to arrange into the square that I created before, drag it down a little bit, press your Nike, okay, and within the square that I created, try to align the right up. I may want to do some kind of things on this particular square to make it obvious. Let me add shadows. When I add shadows, becomes more pronounced. Okay, I'm still with you. Let me reduce the opacity. Press the plus sign. Reduce the opacity here. Press the like sign. So you have it highlighted. So this is what we meant by left alignment. Now you see that all the elements, all the text elements are aligned to the left. If I want to do this in a different way, I can align this element to the right. I can align the elements to the right as in edge alignment. So I can click on this picture, rotate, drag to this edge like I did before. Then each of these elements, I can group them. You can group elements together. Let me just group them for the sake of this tutorial, to prevent waste of time. So this is how to group everything together, and I can drag to the right. Oh, let me go back. I have to ungroup this. I don't have to ungroup, so I don't want to group this white layer. That is this layer. You will see that that's gone up. So this white layer, I don't want to group it with them. So go back, click this, click this, click this, click this. Okay, it's done. Put on my grid lines and drag to the right. So you can see that all of these things are aligned to the right. Then, like I said before, we can also do up alignment, which means that you can align your elements to the top. Understand? You can align your elements to the top or to the down or to the base. It depends on you. Then there's the other type, which I'm going to talk about lastly, which is the central alignment. This has to do with coordinating all your elements to the center. Okay, to do this, I'll have to lock this layer. I will need a different write-up. Now it means that this image, I'll put it to the center. Let me align. Okay, align it to the center. Okay, click this layer, unlock, drag, just write something. Superhuman. So once I write the superhuman, I'll go to my font. Increase the size. Now you discover that I'm trying to place the element between the two parts of the design, between these two lines. I'm not allowing them to pass through. So whenever you are doing your designs, you must ensure that your elements or the various elements, this does not apply to text alone, it applies to all the elements. Whenever you are doing design, you must ensure that they are placed in an orderly manner. Understand? You ensure that they are placed in an orderly manner. So you can just decide to write something. So I'm just writing something randomly. Let me change the color. Okay, change the color to white. Okay, and I will change the font to something else. Let me use a different fonts. Okay, reduce the size, drag a little bit. Okay, change the alignment. See, there's a tool called alignment on text which helps to adjust your text. This is it. Your alignment, you can justify to any dimension. You see it, see the changes. Okay, so this let me just do as if I want to make a date 6th. So I can just add font, increase the font. So now watch what I'm going to do. I'm adding this font to a place whereby it is close to the edge. Now you see that from the right hand side they all have a pattern of arrangement. You get let me just write something. 6th, 24th, 6th April 2024. So let me change the font. Okay, let me reduce the spacing between each letters. You can see from here you can change the spacing between each letters. Then go to color. I want to change the color to something else. So this now you discover that the elements are aligned to the center. The elements for this design are aligned to the center. So thank you very much. The moment you are done, you go to your save as image, put in your PNG or sorry your JPEG Ultra, or most time I would advise very high, then you save. So that's done, it's already saved to your phone. This is just the difference between center alignment and edge alignment. Thank you very much for listening. Do have a nice day.